Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first cast of the week. Happy Monday to everyone that is on here. Oops, on the wrong screen here. Let me go in here. Got to update and get myself some more shows here. That's going to be a must today. Because I'm all out. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead. We got to get started and get a blaster done today. That is number one on our list of stuff to do. Um, So we'll go ahead and get that going. I just got to double check this order real fast and then we'll get going. I apologize for all the sniffles. Oops, that is not good. Okay, so let's do by tomorrow. Unfortunately, I got a little bit of a weird sinus thing going on, but that's okay. It's not going to be a problem. How you doing, Purple Haze? Happy Monday. I'm not sure if I've seen you on the cast or not. I might have, and I apologize. Um, but got the challenge going on here. 1,000 cards. We're doing pretty good. Let's do a let's take a look at the whole spread, huh? Shall we? All right. So, in terms of what's gotten done, this is our first page. Okay. In fact, I'm just going to open this up so that way we can just take a look at them all on the same side. Okay. Got some Banshee, Baron Zemo, Beast, Beta Ray Bill, and so on and so forth. Little Black Widow. If you're a Blade fan, there he is right there. Got some Cable, Cannonball, Captain America, some Carnage, Captain Britain, Cloak, Cyclops or Colossus, and a whole bunch of ones that were sold out prior. But again, you can order any character you want, so that's completely up to you. All right. Well, you know what? The cool part is this is just the Marvel stuff. So I only have three comic character. Or sorry, three comic categories. I got Marvel, DC, and Image, and then after that it goes into like movies and wrestling, Transformers, Pokemon, stuff like that, cartoons. So this is just the first part. This is kind of getting me warmed up to everything. Like today, the first piece I'm going to be working on is a blaster from Transformers. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to doing the cartoon stuff, and all the Ninja Turtles are part of that. The Pokemon I'm definitely looking forward to because I've only drawn a handful of Pokemon, so it's gonna be cool to like jump into that whole realm and do other characters that I'm not used to. So that's pretty neat. Some good stuff there. Let's see what else do we got. Got Hawkeye and all of them. This is probably my favorite page with all the fun stuff. A lot of cool little characters in there. Oh, definitely, definitely. I appreciate that. And I guarantee all of us that are part of this whole thing definitely appreciate it as well. But please feel free to look through. I mean, I'm not trying to pressure you into anything. I just want to give you a lowdown on what's going on, so that way if you have any questions or anything. But I'm gonna get started on this blaster. I have a mock-up of the blaster. I don't know if anybody that you've watched kind of shows their process other than just drawing the stuff. But I do things a little differently, just to kind of speed things up. Thank you. Well, that is actually the entire book. I only have probably like not like 80 characters in that book so far. It will get to 1,000, but I'm just getting started on this whole process. It started back in November because of the holidays. It kind of slowed down, so I'm really ramping back up now. But this is my mock-up. So I do these mock-ups, And all of these mock-ups that I've done have led to this stuff. So, for example, Jessica Jones, there's her mock-up, there's her final card. Jubilee, here's Juggernaut. So you can just see this is kind of like a starting point. This is supposed to be Kazar. I'm not really a big fan of him, but I'm going to make him. He's kind of like a George of the Jungle, but for Marvel. So we'll get that done probably today, along with this guy. So that way this whole roll will be done. And Juggernaut's skin needs to be done too. So that's on tap for now. Just depends on how long it takes me to get this blaster done. But I do have a mock-up of him, and we're going to get jumping on that now. Excuse me. So, question, are you in an area where you have to deal with all that cold snap or anything right now? Oh, my goodness. How bad is it over there? Or up there? Because I'm in Florida. Oh, my God. That is miserable. Are you enjoying the day off, or you have to work? Oh, my goodness. That sucks. That is horrible. I feel for everybody that has to deal with that right now. It seems pretty damn miserable. I heard it was going to be bad, but I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. Just so you know, I'm not cheating. This is just my mock-up. Oh man. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say a prayer for you because I feel like doing that during the storms, it's bad enough just doing it, on a regular day to day. But, during the storms, people get, I don't know what it is. People during storms get really goofy and they feel like they have like this invincibility complex. And I feel for you, man. So I'm definitely going to, say a prayer for you because I don't want to see something happen to you at all. You know what? Being here in Florida, I will say that yes, that is true. It's weird because people get more emboldened when it's more dangerous, and I don't understand why that is. I was just, unfortunately, I was watching a video on TikTok the other day, and I saw this tow truck driver. He was trying to help out a guy, trying to get his car lifted onto the trailer, and this, I'm not, for lack of a better word, this asshole decides to get really super close, hits the guy in his hip. Thank God the guy didn't get killed or anything, but the guy literally, smacked this guy probably like 50 or 60 miles an hour, but really hurt the guy. You could see he was in a lot of pain. Yeah, that whole, move over kind of thing, people just don't listen at all. So again, I really do wish you the best, and hopefully blessings be with you, so that way nothing like that happens at all. I really would hate to find out something like that happened. Yeah, I can only imagine. That's crazy. Oh God, that's rancid. Yeah, that's definitely loud. Ugh. Well, hopefully things aren't aren't too bad out there. Have you had to do any calls this over the last 24 hours? Mm. All right, trying to get this guy knocked out here. Sorry if the blue pencil's not showing up as good. It will pop up a little bit more as I get through this design. Mm-hmm. So, what are the things? Some of the things that you've seen on here, not on my end, but just on here on Whatnot that you've liked. Hey, take care. God bless and be safe, please. What's going on, Swatcha? Welcome to the stream. Working on a little bit of a blaster piece here for one of the good old patrons here on Whatnot. This will mark my second blaster. I got to deliver my other one that I still have. Had him for quite a while. I just got to go down to the comic store and drop him off. Excuse me. Funny enough that you asked that, but yes, I do. I knock out some X Men. If you take a look, there is a. Actually, you know what? Let me give you one a little better. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you right off my webpage right now because I just uploaded these yesterday. All right, so there's Cable. Not necessarily X-Men, more like on the X-Force side. But let's go down to the bottom. Sunspot. Cable. I think that's Jean Grey. Jubilee. Juggernaut. Omega Red. Can't remember her name. It's Deathstrike. Morph. Gambit. Sabretooth. Who doesn't love a good Sabretooth? Cyclops. There is... Shoot, I can't remember his name now. Professor X. Hold up. Hold on. Let me see something real quick here. Yeah, I do Rogue. In fact, strangely enough, you said Rogue. There she is, right there. So I mean, a whole bunch of different characters. I mean, I love the X-Men. Probably this guy and Sabretooth are my favorite, along with Omega Red. Well, you let me know. I mean, I have all sorts of different cards. I mean, I have cards and I have commissions, but if you want the cards, yeah, just let me know and I'll go and hook you up. I get you. I went through that phase myself. Yeah, Rogue's a good one. She's a really cool character. To be honest with you, I'm more on I like the old school X-Men versus the new school stuff. So when people bring up like X-Men 97 and stuff like that, that's my jam. I think I'm going to do his head 3/4. That's probably a better look for him. All right, let's get going with this. You know what? I have to revisit that show. Um, it didn't hook me like it did a lot of other people, and I think for me, because I have such a passion for the original one, that was hard when it didn't hook me. I was a little frustrated by that, but now that the whole series is out and I don't have to wait week after week, I think I'm just gonna definitely just do a deep dive and check it out. I've seen a lot of the pieces of it, and it looks good. Is it that good? Well, I got you know what? Since you seem to be in my era, I'm gonna take your opinion and I'm gonna put it on my list for this week to watch because I don't have anything on my list right now. And I know it's only like 30-minute episodes, and I think there's like what 8 episodes. I'm down. I'm definitely down to check it out. Yep, that's what you'll order. And you'll let me know. I'll go ahead and put it on my list, and you'll probably be up later on today. What's up, M Dog? Yeah, I think if I was to look back at some of the cartoons that I loved to watch when I was a kid, Transformers would probably be damn near the top next to Voltron. See, I should just go ahead and watch it because here's the thing. I was against the whole Voltron thing that they did on Netflix. However, once it was all said and done, it was actually a really well done show. Well conceived, and it gave justice to the Voltron legacy versus the other stuff that really I think was just junk. Just a lot of fluff. All right, since you're an '80s kid, what are your thoughts on that new Transformers, or not Transformers, but He-Man, Masters of the Universe, that's going to be coming out? Because I will give my 2 cents, and I will, because I've heard different opinions on it, but I mean, it's rare that I get people that don't like it. Well, that's what did blow me away is how they did their teaser trailer. I love the teaser trailer because I felt like I was back, when I was a kid sitting at the TV waiting on a Friday or like a Monday morning, getting ready for the show. It was very nostalgic feeling. Yeah, I mean, somebody said it best, and I will never forget when I saw this TikTok guy. He goes, "This movie has to be good," and he puts up, "It has to be good because if we get a good He-Man movie, it'll lead to us getting a Thundercats movie." Which I completely agree. That's what I'm more hyped about than I am the He-Man movie. And if it's by the same guy, then I'm going to be really happy because Travis Knight, who's doing this movie, he did Bumblebee, which Bumblebee's pretty solid. It's a really good movie. I don't know. I mean, look, we've been waiting what almost 40 years to see a Thundercats movie, but Bumblebee was solid. Like the Transformers look better than they did in the first movie. And the first movie is still one of my favorites out of the series. But out of the series, I would probably say like Transformers One, Bumblebee, and the original Transformers movie, like that, the live action one. That was those three are solid. Everything else is kind of like not even in the ballpark. But I think if they are able to nail the idea behind this series and really give us a good He-Man and not that crap that we got from with Dolph Lundgren, I think we're going to be set up for something really, really good. Yeah, I mean it was kind of a goofy trailer, but I have the utmost faith in this director because a lot of the things that he did in that trailer are very similar to what they did in Bumblebee. making it silly, but there's going to be a serious side to it. I know it. Like there's going to be consequences, and that's going to make a great movie. So Thundercats is the goal, but having a good um, He-Man movie finally after all these years and after all these series is what I really would like to see happen. I was really cool. I was really happy that I didn't see Jared Leto. That made me happy. The voice is really going to be the clincher. The voice, and then also how they depict him. Like they can't make him silly and goofy like the um the Skeletor from the cartoon. It won't work. That worked for the 80s, but right now you have to change it up. He has to be a lot more sinister. So yes, in that when you say you're worried about, Skeletor, I completely agree. That's my biggest thing. Like there's a couple things that they haven't shown us yet. Like we haven't seen Battle Cat, which is a big factor. And we haven't heard from Skeletor. Like we don't really have a feeling for what Skeletor is. We People that know who he is understand it, but he's been depicted in so many different ways. We need a dark version. But here's the thing: like when I looked at it, I agree. Like that, it looks unfinished because some of the CG looks good, and then some of the stuff looks really like unpolished. I think as they go further along, it's going to be a lot cleaner. I know that this trailer was a helper for them because you have to put something out there for people to kind of be like, yeah, that's good or not so good. So we know that the movie's been tested and the general public has seen it. Well, not the general public, but certain people have seen it and said it's really good. However, I know they're going to make their notes and I know that they have to do some color refinement and stuff like that. So I have no doubt they're going to fix that. I think the movie that I'm most worried about, if I'm talking like, kids show, kid stuff, um, that Street Fighter movie, I'm if that's what I'm getting, I'm really pissed. You might as well not have spent the money. That's how I look at it. Well, here's the thing. I mean, we've already seen a movie like that before, right? We saw that with Jean Claude Van Damme. Why are we going back to that well? We don't need Goofy. I mean, you remember the Street Fighter animated movie that they did years ago? Yeah. Again, we've seen that, but Kung Fu Hustle was good. They hit it hard. I mean, you have to have the right kind of people to pull that off. This, I'm just hoping that they're giving me a rope a dope and they're just giving me some shit just because they had to put something out for the gaming awards. But if that's what they're going with, that is going to be horrid. We need something like the animated one. Well, agreed. And here's the thing: like some of the people that they picked to play the characters, I'm really like, why did you do that? Like, I have nothing against Cody Rhodes, but why is Cody Rhodes, you know, Guile? Why is um what's his name? Why is Roman Reigns playing Akuma? You should have just gone ahead and made Jason Momoa Akuma. That would have made more sense. Like he's got that deep brooding look to him. Well, you know, there's aspects of the Mortal Kombat that I like. Like as far as the fight scenes were great, I won't say all the fight scenes. Some of the fight scenes were good, but the movie in and of itself was horrible. Like, it was really bad. I'm concerned about the second one. I really am, because I don't know where they're going with this. You have to have somebody that can create a good story, and the fight scenes kind of accentuate that story. When I was like hyping up people to go see the Mortal Kombat, the first one, I was hyping it because I saw that first sight. I saw the first 5 minutes of the movie where you got to see the origin of Scorpion. What's up, ATX? When I saw that, I was like, this movie is gonna be amazing, and then it just went downhill from there. Sub-Zero was great. Like, he was probably my favorite out of the characters on that movie. But when I saw like Goro, like, what is this? I mean, it's hard because I hate to say it, the bar that was set for Mortal Kombat, the original movie, I'm talking about, not the Annihilation one that came out after, but the original one. Um, it was great. It was fun. It had like the fight scenes that when Sub-Zero came out the first time, and you see that one dude doing his like little martial arts, stuff, and then Sub-Zero hits him with the ice and kills him. And yes, the music. I mean, it was solid all the way around. So the bar is really high. And there's parts of this new one I'm just like, they look goofy, but I'm like, it can only be better than the last one. I don't think there's gonna be another soundtrack as good as that one was. Like, that soundtrack was crap. It was killer. I think I wore my CD out, when I had that when I had that album. But if you remember, like, back in the like 90s, right? They did a Street Fighter animated movie. That movie was fire. Like, it still hits to this day. It's that good. If they can replicate something like that, that would make sense. They're never gonna, because people don't think like that. But we'll see. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll go see it. It's going to probably get panned hard. But I'm hoping that what they're doing is that they're going to look at it and be like, hey, you know what? We did this. Thank goodness we're a year away from the actually being released. We need to do reshoots. I'd rather them delay it 6 months, do reshoots, and give me a better movie. All right, almost done with this guy's setup. I don't know why I'm not looking at Blaster on my phone. That's weird. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming up this year. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Transformers. I mean, since you're a Transformers guy, have you watched the Transformers movie that they put on YouTube? Hey, what's going on, V? Okay, so let me pull this up real quick here. I will actually tell you which one it's called. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you what it is, because I just sent this off to one of my friends. Let me pull it up here. Okay. Where are you? It's called Cybertron Falls. Um Cybertron Falls Till All Are One. So this is it right here. Yes. So here's the deal. So if you've seen the Transformers one, honestly, there are bits of this. Oh, okay. Let me before I go ahead and jump into this. So Transformers one talks about the origins of how Megatron and Optimus Prime became um, themselves, like how they became Prime and they became Megatron. That movie is seriously underrated. Okay, which one have you seen? Have you seen the Transformers one? Okay, so this one, these particular ones, if you haven't seen it, they're fan made, and I don't know if they kickstarted it or something. They did something, but it was crowdfunded, and it took them probably like 3 or 4 years to do it, but they did a whole series, and it's all based after the events of the original Transformers cartoon. So all of the Transformers, like Megatron's retired, like he's trying to live this life of solitude. There's been like this partnership between Decepticons and Autobots, so they're kind of living in harmony. But all of a sudden, something rocks the harmony, and they're back to this war between each other. It is literally like the first couple, you're going to be like, it's not as good because they're still kind of refining the process. When they get to this one here, because they're like an hour and a half long movies, so they're really well done. Um, some people put some love into them, and it's really, really good stuff. I didn't think it was going to be good. I just happened to stumble upon it one day when I was just floating online. Yeah, I will watch anything Transformers as long as it's good. But I this particular project I'd heard about, and I'd forgotten about. But one day it dropped on my Instagram again, and I was like, I got to check this out. I honestly couldn't turn it off because for once somebody actually made a good story that made sense. You get all your fan favorite characters in there. You got Megatron, you have Starscream, you even have Unicron in this one. You know what? That is a deal. I will put, like I said, I'm going to start watching that today. I'm going to go past the first episode that I saw, and I'll start watching it for sure. That is a deal, and I'll report back and let you know. Okay, I think I'm ready to go ahead and start throwing on some ink on this guy. That's actually pretty cool because I like seeing stories like that. I don't know how much of a comic book fan you are, but if you've taken a look at that new, I wouldn't even say new. It's been out for a while, But the Transformers book that they've done, not Rivals, but the other Transformers book, it's pretty fucking dope. I like seeing people do fan fiction based on those characters. Yeah, I hope you get a chance to finish that story. That'd be cool. Let me check you out real quick. Let's see. All right. So, which version of Rogue do you like? Like the movie version? Do you prefer like the '90s version of her, like Jim Lee stuff? All right. All right. Definitely '90s. Okay, I got you. Big poofy jacket. Yeah, she's weird. Yeah, I never understood that brooding kind of version of her that they put in the movies. Like the '90s version, the one that we all know from like even the TV series, she still had a little spiciness to her. I felt like the one that they put in the movie, she was very meek, and I didn't like that. I liked her tough. I'm wondering how they're gonna pull off this new version of X Men. Wonder how they're gonna execute that. Agreed on that 100%. Well, here's my honest thing. I don't think they're going to show many, if any, X Men characters in this series other than Wolverine. Only because the way that they kind of set some stuff up. I think Wolverine's probably last run is going to be in Doomsday. Which trailer? Oh, the one with Professor Xavier and Cyclops and Magneto. Yes, I have. I love that trailer. That's probably the best version of Cyclops' powers I think we've seen ever. Listen, we only have to wait 2 weeks from yesterday to see the trailer. 2 weeks. That's it. Honestly, you know what? That is going to make the Super Bowl. Screw the. Don't I don't give any. I'm not knocking the two teams that are in there. I'm not going to knock Seattle. I'm not going to knock the Patriots, New England. But this trailer, for anybody that's a Marvel nerd or comic nerd or has been waiting for this trailer for a while, it's going to be insane. That is the only reason I am going to watch because I want to see that trailer released. I want them to put it up there like trailer is now available on YouTube. I think we're going to get a glimpse of Doom. You remember how they did the Infinity War trailer, and we got Thanos at the at one part of the trailer, and he's grabbing like a moon and getting ready to throw it into Tony Stark. I think it's going to be something like that. It's going to have to be some epic piece in there. Well, you know what? They have a very high bar. I mean, I will say all the little trailers, the little teasers that they did a really good job. They just kept on getting better and better and better. With my favorite one was when the Wakandans saw or met up with the Fantastic Four. That's probably my favorite because I love Thing. Thing is awesome in this series. Well, the thing is, I'm pretty sure we're going to get Thanos. I don't know if he's going to be like is it Emperor God Thanos, but we're going to get the old version of Thanos. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the one with the beard and everything, and he's going to go against Doom. I'm pretty sure that's how they're going to do that. Yes, have no doubt that they're going to have to do something epic to show Doom's power. They got to set that up. Like it is a must. I don't know that spinal cord rip is going to be the big one. I think it would make more sense for him to take out Thanos because now you know he's the new big bad. That would be great. The thing is that I don't even know where they're going to go with this whole thing. Like I know the story of Secret Wars, and creating Battle World and all that stuff. I get all that, but I don't know how Marvel is going to pull off this new. I wouldn't even say new, just this whole idea. I don't even know where they're going to go. I'm happy that they're cleaning up their mess. That part I'm really happy about. I'm glad that they're getting rid of multiverses and all that stuff. I'm glad that is probably my favorite part of this whole rebuild. Yeah, that would be cool. No, I think this is going to reset a lot of things. Like we're gonna they're actually going to destroy a lot of characters. I have no doubt that a lot of characters that have been introduced are going to die because you can't keep them around. I don't want new characters. I absolutely don't, because the whole problem that we've had with this whole new multiverse is that we have too many characters and we don't value them. Like, I don't care about most of any of the characters that have been introduced. Like Miss Marvel, I think she's cute. I think she's awesome as far as, like, she's a fun, quirky character. Cool. Shang-Chi, I love him. I would keep him. He's a great character. Um, who else did they introduce? She-Hulk, she's fun, but I don't need to keep her. Who else did they pop in there that's new? Um, well, I think the problem that they had is that the world's too big. It's too big and they don't have enough valuable people. So think about it like this. So when we got the first saga, the Infinity Saga, you fell in love with Tony Stark. You fell in love with the whole Peter Parker character. You liked Black Panther and so on and so forth, right? With this new one, there's really no they don't really have really fleshed out world that you really want them. Like, I even feel like when we look at Thor, right? We like Thor, but the quality of Thor was diluted when they made that Love and Thunder movie. Like, we were at a high with Ragnarok. We got Love and Thunder. We're like, what the hell? We love how they ended Guardians of the Galaxy. They set that up perfectly. That was great. And we still endear those characters. But like Ant-Man, I enjoyed Ant-Man. I like Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. But the movies themselves have just gone. The third one was just boohoo. I thought Kang was set up to be a good character, but again, not good. No, I just think they just need to bring the world in a little bit more, get rid of all this multiverse crap, and create valuable good stories. That's the problem. They don't have any good stories that they're telling. Think about it. Like, we had Doctor Strange, right? The Multiverse of Madness. The movie wasn't bad. It's not one of my favorites, but I saw where they were going with it. They had some fun things in there, and I enjoyed, Scarlet Witch in there. However, they left us with a hanging Chad. Like, it's literally like dangling. What's Doctor Strange off doing? Why have we not seen this character? I mean, same thing with Shang-Chi. Like, they gave us Shang-Chi 6 years ago, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of him. Why? He had one of the best movies that you put out there. Same thing with Spider-Man. You just dropped it out there, and he's just dangling. And then you give us these other turds along the way. However, they did do something good last year and the year prior. So, giving us a Deadpool and Wolverine movie, it was fan service, but it was well done fan service. Giving us what was it? Thunderbolts. What I was really skeptical about Thunderbolts, but they made me enjoy the characters even more. Like, there's a lot of characters in there that I really like. Now, others I can, say no. Like, I feel like Bucky really didn't have a huge role in there, but I liked Elena. I liked the Red Guardian, which is where they were trying to go with that, so they could build more, faith in those characters. When they did Fantastic Four, that was my biggest issue. Fantastic Four, I was like, every Fantastic Four I've seen is not good. Where are they going with this? And then when they told me that the big bad was going to be Galactus, that was my biggest problem. How do you make Thunderbolt? I'm sorry. How do you make the Fantastic Four face off with a planet eater? And they were able to make it realistic um where he was able to be like, the size of a building, like 30 or 40 feet up in the air. That was cool. But it was a good setup. Well, you know what? That's everybody's going to have their different opinions on that thing, and that, you know what? Some people didn't like it, like yourself. You're not a fan of it. I think from a visual side of things, I thought it was really cool. Um, I like that they made Silver Surfer valuable in it. Excuse me. Yeah, I agree. There were some things in there that didn't make a lot of sense. I would say up until they got him on Earth, I liked everything else in there. Like how he was beaten, that didn't make a lot of sense, but that's here nor there for me. Yeah, Silver Surfer was not a big thing for me. I just wanted a cool Silver Surfer. I don't know why people were bitching about it being a female. I don't care. I just wanted good characters, and I will say this: I liked every Fantastic Four character minus Mister Fantastic. I thought he was very whiny, but Sue was great. Johnny was fantastic, and Thing was just great. The visuals were really dope. I really think that was really well done. I know that it was just a setup movie, so I think long term they're going to probably be better. I'm looking forward to that. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun to see where they go with this whole series. I am going to go see Endgame again because I don't know if you heard, but they're re-releasing Endgame, but the Endgame is going to have a different end credit scene. End credit scene or not, it doesn't matter. Seeing Endgame on the big screen is way better. Yes, they've confirmed that there's going to be an end credit scene on the end of on the end of the movie. It's supposed to lead into the next movie. Yeah, Marvel's just trying to go ahead and milk this bad boy. Yeah, I can't remember the outlet that I saw that in, but that's what's supposed to happen. Now you know what it's going to be. It's just going to be a stinger. That's it. Watch that movie in the theater. Worth it. 100% worth it. And for those people that haven't seen it, like there's kids and whatnot that have never seen that movie in the theater. There's nothing like watching Captain America grab that Mjolnir and saying "Avengers Assemble." That scene, epic, epic. I've never seen a theater erupt as much as it did when that happened. I mean, it brought a tear to my eye. I'm a pretty solid person, so I can say this. When I saw Tony and Peter Parker come together again, I had a tear in my eye. I was like, "This is great," because it was like that father son moment. What's up, Purple Haze? It just they hit on a whole bunch of different tones. So watching that in theaters, I already told my sons, I'm like, we're going back to go see it, so be prepared. My wife is not going to probably see it, but I will definitely be there for the 3 hour ride, even though I've seen it countless times. And she's going to tell me the same. She's like, "You've already seen it." I'm like, "I don't care. I don't care. Don't care." Well, she'll probably come along anyway because she likes to support my crazy. What's up, Tasha? All right, you have yourself a good one. You know what? I will. And as I go along, I'll go ahead and knock that out. But we're going to do old school Rogue. I got you. I'll make it look good. Oh, sorry about that. Thanks for the correction. Yeah, I get into my groove and I kind of I'm not paying attention. Thank you. Good chat. So, how are you doing this morning, Tasha? Well, you know what? You can. Just somebody has to teach you. It's raining in your area, Florida. It's not raining near me. I'm on the East Coast. Where are you at? Oh, I used to work near that area. I actually used to work in Jupiter, right off of PGA. Small world, right? Yeah, I live in the Port St. Lucie area. Oh man, you're in the fun spot. That's a area right there. What's going on, Kay? Um, yeah, I don't envy you for that one. Honestly, I did not like going anywhere past PGA. That was probably as far south as I would go. Gets a little tricky as you get further south. What? Hold on here. Oh, you are. That's cool. That's really really cool. I hope you get a lot of business down there. I can only imagine. Oh, these are. I'm doing 100 cards. I'm sorry, not 100. 1,000 sketch cards. I'll pull up the whole thing here in just a second so you can kind of see what's up. But the goal is to finish 1,000 sketch cards in a year, following a specific list. So if you've ever heard of like Inktober, they sometimes have like photography challenges and stuff like that. I know, based upon prompts. Oh, that's so cute. So here's the deal. Let me actually grab my list here. So I have a list. I've done 10 different categories. Like I've created 10 different categories from three different comic categories: Transformers, TV, cartoons, wrestlers, anime, and I believe Pokemon. I think those are the 10. Um, and each of them has 100 characters that I have to do. Uh, so I actually went out and I got a whole bunch of comic book backboards, and I cut them down to 2.5 by 3.5. That's what the size is for my cards. And it just, I feel like it's got a little bit more weight to it. So the card is actually not very flimsy. You can use cardstock, but this is the kind I use. So it's a lot thicker than cardstock. It's probably about 110-pound weight cardstock. But it made more sense because I can get I can get 100 backboards of comics, and I can make, I think it was eight. It's either eight or six. But for every board, I get that many. So if I cut them all up, let's say for example, I just only get six. I got 600 cards I can make out for spending $10, and I just got to cut them down. So I either use scissors or I have a cutting board to do that. But with this, I'm going to make, like I said, 100 cards per category, and these are some of the cards that have been done so far, and they're all in color, minus the ones I did first off because I just didn't do the color. But this is what we're looking at. So either people can purchase the ones that are already pre-made, or they can order cards that they want. But if they order, like, say for example, some of the people somebody ordered Doctor Doom, which was right here, right? So I don't have him here, but if somebody wants to reorder him, they can. But out of the set that I did, I can check him off my list. But they'll all come in color unless somebody requests them not to. Like I had somebody order this card. This is Blaster. He's off my Transformers list, so I'll take him off my list. So that's one less Transformer I have to do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know what? You have to challenge yourself and push yourself. I've told this story a lot of times. I've done this. I've done about 700 cards prior. I did it during COVID. And this one, I just wanted to get back into drawing again. So that's why I've done this small card set. Well, I mean, I even like Kay on here. I introduced her to this. I went ahead and I used Copic markers, and then I layer that with Prismacolors. What's going on, All Powerful? And that's how I'm able to create those blends. And then as far as like the inking side, I use microns to do all of that, like nice finish work. Yeah, I try. I mean, I enjoy doing this. It's a fun little task of pulling this off. The goal is just to create a lot of characters that I have never drawn before. Um, so my lists are varied. And I try to get people, like when people suggest things, I try to add them to my list. So like the other day, Kay was on here. She's been on my stream a few times. She suggested the Rocketeer. I will definitely add that to the list. I will definitely check that out. She suggested like the Rocketeer. So since I'm an '80s, I mean I was born in the '70s, like late '70s, but she suggested that, and I saw that. I'm like, man, that's a great character. The design's great. What's up, Bucky? Um, so being able to draw those kind of things is fun. Um, I don't like, out of all the stuff I'm going to draw, Pokemon is probably my big thing that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, working on Blaster today. The Pokemon is probably my most anticipated set that I'm looking at doing, mainly because I've drawn Pokemon before, but it's the same, like maybe 8 characters or handful of characters that people want, like the Pikachu's and the Charizards and stuff like that. I am really pushing to do more than just that, and I want people to be like, "Wow, this is dope." So I'm supposed to be going to a card show in Port St. Lucie in February, and I want to present those. Look, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people come on this stream, and my goal when I started it was to educate people because I teach at a college, but I've taught grades all the way from kindergarten, sorry, VPK all the way up to college, and I think the art world is very important. And I think as adults, we need a release. So you do photography, but I think like if you are able to do the art in and incorporate the photography, I mean, it'll take things to another level. No, 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 no. See, this is what I tell people. Like when I tell people how old I am, I'm like I'm aging gracefully, and I have more knowledge, and probably you do too, because we've had a chance to enjoy all of those years. So you are aging gracefully. Yeah, I actually have the guy that I'm drawing this for. He's a watercolor instructor, so I'm going to try to collaborate with him where I'm going to do the artwork and he's going to draw over it, and he's going to teach me some of his techniques so I can kind of learn how to do it. What's up, Marsh? Thank you. Yeah, I think you getting back into it. I think it's good. And if I've been a little helper, just kind of like give you a push, good. Because I would love to see more artists up on this channel. Not on mine, but as far as like as far as whatnot. Because I like people spreading their art. Copic markers are fun. You don't have to buy a lot of them. Like you can literally start out with monochromatic colors and go from there. No, you haven't gotten an Ultraman from me yet, but I can kill that one. I can definitely say that. Um, yeah, if you want one, let me know, man. Well, let me know, and I got you. And I definitely don't have an Ultraman on my list, but I haven't drawn one in years, so that would be fun to do. Yeah, getting used to Copics is hard, but I tell everybody when they get Copics, what you should start with is like get yourself like some warm and cool colors instead of going like super hard and getting all these like random colors. Get like a cool gray, get a warm gray. Here, let me show you what they look like because I have my box. I can show you. Where did I put those? Hang on one sec. I don't think I have. Yep, I did not bring them in here. Let me go grab them. I'm back. So sorry about that. Okay, so these are the Copics. So I'm going to get ready to use these in just a second. This is a Copic marker. There's a couple different versions. Actually, there's 3 different versions that you can get. So this is the one I use. It's called a Chow. It is a brush tip on one side, like that. And then it's got a chisel tip on the other side. So if you're doing large areas. Now this one's very similar to the Chow. I can't remember what this one's called. I don't think it's called a 2. But anyway, this guy, same deal. Brush one side, chisel tip on the other. And there's a bigger one that's thicker, which is almost about the double the size as far as around. That one has the same exact kind of setup. And then the 4th one that they have is kind of thin, it's small like this, and it's wide. And it has a chisel tip on the end. So it's got a lot of ink in it, but it's a lot wider. So if you're doing like large surfaces, that's the one you can use. 9 times out of 10, you can just get this guy. So I would get this, actually with this tone. These are the tones I was telling you about. Where are you? All right. So they make it pretty simple for you to kind of understand what to get. So cool colors have, they're a C. So these are cool grays. So if you get yourself like a C3, a C5, and a C7, you're good. You don't need to get every one of them. So you get every other one because you'll see you'll see a lot of difference between the 3 to 5 versus going from 3 to 4. There's very little difference from 3 to 4. So if you get every other one, you see a difference. For example, let me see if I have my 5. Okay. There's that one, and where is my 5? So sorry, I just gotta go through these markers because I can't remember where the 5 is. I know I have one. Oh, it's not there. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Okay, so this is the difference. So you can kind of see the difference. Let me flip these around so that way. So there's the 3, 5, and there's 7. So you can see the difference between the two. And then when you go to the warms, they're more like, they're still a gray, but it's got like a brownish tone to it. And you'll see that it'll say W3 and so on and so forth. If you start in that area, that way you can work with value colors versus having to worry about, doing the cold color theory, but also get you comfortable using those markers. I went in super hard and just decided to go ahead and buy everything, and it got expensive really fast. So I would definitely tell you not to do that. One last thing that you want to invest in: get the refills. These are very important. So the average marker goes for $6, but you get a refill for $6. So you can either keep on buying these or you get the refill, and these refills can fill up to I think 4 times. Okay. So think about it like this. You spend $6 and you can refill it 6 times. So there you go. There's $24 right there in just one refill. It's equivalent to $24. Why not do that? It's a little sticky, so just be careful when you do it. But these are way, way, way better than the old ones used to be. So you literally take off the chisel side of the marker, put this inside of there, put some drops in there. The chisel side absorbs the marker. So for example, let me see if I can pull mine off. So you take your marker like this, you pull the chisel side off, which it looks like that, and you put your ink inside of there. There's a sponge on the inside that holds all the ink. And then you put your chisel chip back in there and you're ready to rock again. You literally just take your marker and you just flip it from side to side. The ink gets in both of them, and you're ready to go. It is that simple. It is not hard at all. But there's so many things. Again, like my thing is, I want to educate you. I want you to, know what's available to you. So if you're going to invest, I don't want you to have to spend a lot of money to get things started, especially if it's just something you want to try. Why would you want to spend like obnoxious amounts of money if you don't have to? You being in photography, you know this. So you buy the things that you need and you invest in it as you go along. But yeah, I would definitely say that would be cool. So I got a question for you. Since you're in the Palm Beach area, do you ever go down to Mardi Gras at all? Okay, so Mardi Gras, you know where Jupiter is, right? Okay, so I believe it's either the first or second weekend of February. They do Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras, they have a whole area that they devote, like it's a whole street. Now it's like a park area that they do for like artists, whether it be like for photography, for painting, sculptures, all this kind of good stuff. But it is a very cool event. So since you're doing that kind of stuff, I would suggest, taking a look at that particular event. This is it. Actually, I'll show it to you. So it's like Mardi Gras, but Mardi Gras. It's down in Jupiter, but I'm going to show it to you so that way you can kind of see where it's at. This is the event here. Yeah, I think for you it'd be really cool. And if you haven't seen that, you might want to also check out the Chalk Art Festival down in Lake Worth. Like for you, because your photography thing opens up a whole bunch of different things. But this is Mardi Gras. So this particular event, like I used to have my kids present art here for my school, and this event's really cool. I think you would definitely enjoy it. It's a good way for you to showcase your art. Now, of course, because they it's more of a thing where you have to present your artwork and get selected. It's a good thing to do. No problem. Definitely look into it. I mean, if anything, just go to the event. I think the event is only like $5 or $10, but it's worth it. My wife and I went over there one year. There was this artist that, um, so you know how you get paint swatches. The artist would go to the store, get paint swatches, and made them into like pixelated art. So they would do these pieces that would be like 36 by 24 and meticulously put all these pieces together, and you could kind of see the image, far away. I'm sorry, up close, but you would have to step back. If you had glasses, take them off, and it made this beautiful piece of artwork that they did. It was just insane. Some of the stuff people came up with. Somebody took forks and created like a crane out of forks. Ridiculous stuff. And the cool part about it, this is the best part. So if you're an up and coming artist, you can get into a pool of people where you can get in there. I think it's at a reduced rate or for free, and you get a booth, all this kind of good stuff. And the only thing that you're required to do is the next year, you're to help the people that are incoming basically doing the same thing that you did the first year if you get selected. Yeah, I've been to Art Basel. I really love that event. I haven't been back since the guy with the banana, but I definitely want to go back. I want to take my boys to go see it because I know they would love it. They're at an age where they can understand it, so I think it's something that they could do. Have you ever shown at Art Basel? Oh man, yeah. It's honestly, I think I like Art Basel more for the fact that they are finally bringing international art to to America in a big way, and they're showcasing locals too, which is important. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's very cool. Since you got the skills, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have that as an option. We're all trying to find different sources of revenue, right? I got to commend you. I mean, anybody that has an eye for photography, I really admire. I wish I had that skill. I haven't cultivated it. Who the heck is at my ring? Oh, it's my long guy. Okay. Yeah, this is a cool arena to be in. I never thought that I would get to meet so many interesting people on here. Take away the whole, selling aspect. I think I've enjoyed more just getting to meet interesting people. Like yourself. I would have never guessed I would have ran into somebody that, is in my state. No less, near where. I used to work. It's kind of cool. Oh, definitely be taking a look at that for sure. Yeah, that's the big part. AK, welcome back. I think for me, um, yeah, I think for me the biggest thing is I like running into people that the aspect of teaching people stuff. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'm dealing with some sinus stuff myself, so I get you. All right. Yeah, the worst part about this whole thing is, okay, and this is gonna might make you laugh a little bit. So, a couple weeks ago, the people in my church, I doing this challenge, right? So, everybody's trying to get better in health for the new year. I don't believe in starting things off in the new year because my brain will be like, oh, I'm going to go for a couple weeks and then we'll start. Well, I kind of gear myself up because I want to do it. So I kept on seeing them doing this fitness challenge, and what they would have to do is they would have to do a certain amount of workouts throughout the week. They would have to post these workouts and all this kind of stuff. So I can do this. On top of that, they were throwing down money and all that stuff, so I had a little bit more incentive to do it. However, it was just more for for me getting fit. So they finally opened up a part for people to start getting added to this group. What happens? They add me to the group. I get in on Friday. I get this congestion stuff that starts up yesterday. It's crazy. I've been perfectly fine until then, but I'm not gonna let it get me down. I'm not doing that. Yeah, well, I'm trying to not be crazy about it. My I've sneezed a lot and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to keep it to a minimum. Put a lot of drugs in the system, lots of vitamin C, Dayquil, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. That's gonna be one of the things that I really want to try. It'll be fun. It'll be something new to try. Yeah, definitely come by through here, and you might see it pop up. V friends. These little guys. Just want to make sure these guys. Okay, cool. Oh, they look fun. Yeah, I'll definitely have to try some of those. I'll definitely check it out for sure. Seems very fun. Yeah, I just saw that. There we go. I will definitely be checking that one out. That looks a lot of fun. I think we're good, so I can start putting on some ink. Look. I would hope that I see a lot of people produce some big stuff down the road. That's what I would love to see is people produce some cool things. But it takes the right amount of people to share your work and show off your stuff and whatnot. Yeah, I'm not about doing a popularity contest. I want to create good stuff and put it in the hands of people. Like this right here is not not for anything but just to kind of warm up my skills. That's why I'm spending a whole year doing all of this. Once this is done, I'm starting on my book. That's already happening. This is, like I said, this is just a warm up. So I'm spending a year just investing in myself. Yeah, I mean, think of it like this. If you want to get ready for a marathon, right? You can't just go out there and run the marathon. That's not smart. You will end up hurting yourself. You'll embarrass yourself and you'll be in bad shape, right? So you put in the time and you create something really cool. Yeah, well, I mean, my thing, yeah, building a following is good. Getting people to buy into what I'm doing and putting in value, that's my big thing. I want consistency. And that's the thing. I mean, a lot of because my life is very busy, consistency is hard. So that's what I'm trying to do. I really want a consistent set of pieces done. I want to be able to hit this goal. I want to hit it hard and be able to move on to the next thing. Be that my book. And once I get the first book done, then I can do the second and third and fourth and move on. But because I've been so busy working in the regular world, I actually have I did a roughie of this. I'll show you the roughie of this picture here in just a second, so that way you can see what I started with. So I go in and I try to find an example of what the character looks like, but then I create a roughie of the character, just so I can kind of see where I want him to go. Right. So it's just a blobby version, very rough sketch, and then I create the character. But I don't my knowledge of all the characters. I don't know all the looks of them, so I do have to find reference. So I'm looking at this right now for reference. Yeah, I did a comic with a couple of friends of mine years ago, but my thing I'm doing now is I'm working on a graphic novel. I was able to complete the first of the five arcs. Oh, sorry, first of the five parts of the story, and now it's just kind of fleshing out where it's going to go next. Stuff that has to make sense. So, like my kids that I have in the book, they were at a certain age, but now I have to age them up because it doesn't make sense as far as like their things that they would do, practical motivations, without giving a lot of the story away. Basically, these kids lose their father, and the thing that I have to figure out is how old do they need to be for them to really be affected by the loss of their father, because it's something very traumatic, and how does it affect each child, because each child is going to get affected differently. So whereas when I first started the story, each of the kids, like one of the kids was like a teenager, one of the kids was like 10, and then one of them was a little kid. But there's a part of the story where one of the kids goes off and he's very radical in his thought process, and he ends up getting hurt. But a 12-year-old would not do like what this one character is going to do, like go against the person that killed their father. It just wouldn't happen. Number one, the mom wouldn't let it happen because she's very, worried about her child getting hurt. And a 12-year-old is not going to seek revenge. It doesn't make any sense. If you're older, you would. If you're like 17 or 18, you're going to have those motivations. So those are kind of things like as I'm going along, and I realize that are problems that I have to fix. But it is going to be a graphic novel. It's definitely going to be a graphic novel. I don't want it to be any other option. I'm a visual storyteller. I do it in my career. I'm a graphic designer by trade. I teach it and I do it for a living. Welcome back, Bucky. Okay, so he's getting there. Yeah, the book that I'm doing is a little more fantasy based, which is definitely in my wheelhouse. I don't want to do anything like superhero-y for that book. Yep, me too. I literally listen to this one guy's cast for like as I'm drawing. I mean, he'll do casts that are like 6 hours long, but I learned so much. It's not just from him talking. I literally will watch his techniques, and he's so informative. That's one of the reasons what kind of inspired me to do this kind of stuff, because I have a lot of skills that a lot of people don't have, and I want to teach people how to do those kind of things. Thank you. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. All right, back to the work. Well, yeah, a lot of the techniques that I do, I've learned from people, only because I know there's better processes to do. And why do you want to take the hard way if somebody else can teach you how to make easier and wiser decisions? So, like when I do these rough things, this was not something that I would typically do. Probably like 5, 6 years ago, I would have never done this. But it's the same kind of process as doing a thumbnail. So when you want to, I know like sometimes when you're going and doing a shoot, you'll have an idea of certain, shots that you're going to do. So with this, it's the same thing. Like I'll do the roughies, and if I have 9 roughies like this, I can see that they're not all going to be the same, and that's perfect. I can kind of lay out what I'm going to do, And as I go along, I can go through my book and I can be like, I'm not going to replicate this pose. I'm not going to replicate this. I want them all to be different. And with 1,000 poses, that's hard. But having those roughy sheets definitely make it easier. I did do that in Procreate. Good eye. Yeah, I can literally do a roughie in about 2 minutes, maybe a minute, and I know where things are going to go. And that's what it should be. Quick, simple, easy. Because then you're not worrying about trying to figure out all the madness. I am. It's a touchy subject. So for me, I'm not a big fan of AI. I think AI is good for a tool. Like that's what its intended use is. Using it as the norm, absolutely not. I think it makes people very lazy. Um, I think anybody that, and I will say this, anybody that's older and has had to work for things will understand why AI is not the way to go. I think AI eliminates a lot of the important things that people have to do and understand. It's funny that I was having this conversation with somebody yesterday. Um, he was talking it relating to jobs, and I said the same thing. So, um, when it comes to AI, for example, if somebody's writing up a paper, right? Especially kids nowadays, they'll go in there, put in their little prompt or whatever for AI, and they will think that that is gold, right? So it'll spit out that information in 5 minutes. However, they will not go back through and they will not proofread. They will not, check all that kind of good stuff, do the details. They don't even give it enough in order to give it a nice, girthy, you know, set of instructions to get it going. So like for example, I'll write up an email for somebody or I'll write up some instructions and I'll just say, hey, AI, can you go in there? Can you just, tweak this and make it sound a little bit better? That makes sense. But then I'll come back, I'll read it just to make sure I'm good with it, and then I can go ahead and send it off. But it starts with me. It is a tool. It is not the norm. And when we start doing that, what's going to end up happening is those kids that we see that are using that, they become adults, and then they'll be like, why don't I have a job? Because you set this up years prior where, you can't have that job. You did that to yourself. And that's why I say, me and, people like yourselves, we're supposed to help these kids out and help them understand. You need to not go down that road. You're setting yourself up for failure. And it's okay for you guys to have to feel some pain. That's how it works. Learn how to open up a book. That'll be helpful for you. And when you open up that book, really read it. Don't listen to it. That's another one of those things. I mean, and we looked at it on a grander scale. So the reason why AI is probably making such a big push right now is because our kids are being taught we need to pass this test in all of our schools. So kids are learning how to put in information to pass tests versus learning how to learn information to be able to move and function in the world after they get out of high school. Like they don't have any control. They don't understand. They don't understand the long-term effects of what they're doing. And that's what our job is to do, is to teach them. Even the ones that don't even belong to us, we have to teach. Even though we don't want to, we have to, because if they don't understand that what they're doing will affect us. No, that's why I try to catch them in college. Like I try to stop that stuff real fast. I'm like, no, 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 no. You're gonna have to do some work. Honest to God, one year I was working, I had a student submit a paper, and it was all in lowercase, like complete lowercase, no punctuation, none of that stuff. A paper. It was crazy. I was shocked. But it's crazy when we think about it. But like when we look at like COVID and stuff like that, that made our kids less informed and made them lazier because they put them on a computer and hoped and prayed that it was gonna help them. That made kids less engaged, 100%. And you did that shit for almost 2 years. No. Oh, I love teaching. I enjoy my job. I enjoy teaching because I feel like I'm combating a problem. Teaching in a public school system is hard because unfortunately our governments are not looking at this really big systemic problem. They're all trying to be like, oh, I can get funding, I got to get funding, I got to, no kid left behind. Well, you know what, if a kid gets left behind and they got to repeat a grade, that's okay, because that means that they were not getting the information, like the information wasn't hitting for them. They don't, obviously that means that they don't understand it. Two, you can identify if there is an issue for the child, like they might be dyslexic, they might have a comprehension issue, but you get them the services to fill that gap. And that's what's not happening. We're not doing that. You're doing a disservice by doing No Child Left Behind. I think that is horrible. Teaching kids how to do homework is a way for you to learn how to do things down the road. If parents would be really transparent on this and be like, hey, look, you're learning this because this is a fundamental skill for you to learn as you become an adult. Because when you become an adult, when you do work at home, guess what? It's homework. It just is different how you're getting paid. Knowledge versus a paycheck. That's really the part that you got to understand. Your goal as a student is to your pay is knowledge and understanding processes. So that way, when you get into the real world, you don't seem like you're dumb. But we don't do that. We don't teach that anymore. And I can't say, I can only say that from a Florida perspective because I've lived here all my life, and that's kind of what I see that they're doing in Florida. But that's the general consensus is what I found. And that is horrible when we think about it. Like that is a big, big problem. Yeah, Florida needs to get their act together because they're doing it all wrong. Oh, no worries. I just went on my little trope in reference to the to how kids are just not getting the best education here in Florida. You know what? They are your kids, though. Those are your babies. Hey, you know what? I have furry friends. They're still my kids. I wake up and I talk to them just like they're my children every day. Oops. True, true, true. Yeah, since you're in the field, where is your stance on this whole AI thing? Do you think it'll ever make like photography obsolete? That's good. Yeah, I don't want people to ever get rid of the tangible items. True. Yeah, you can't fake that. You can't replicate that. Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah, human and human, putting two people in a room. You can even say this, like think about it. Like when you're doing a like a Zoom call, right? There's a difference. You can have the same exact conversation, but the feeling's different when you're face to face versus on a Zoom call. Weird. There's that disconnect, and I'm glad that you're firm on the fact that that's not going to happen because I hope it never ever does. I never want to see that field or any field get knocked out because of that kind of technology. But the thing is that yeah, they are need. Well, I don't know if they're needed as much as that they can be used. There's other ways to do things. I think the automation side of AI is going to put a hindrance on people. Do I ever think like on the education side of things that we'll have you know computers doing that side of things? No, no, I don't think so. I don't foresee that happening. Actually, I'm gonna make this whole thing blue. That is for damn sure. However, I feel like there's people out there that are like, I can do that. That's what I can make that happen. I hope it never gets to that point. Yeah. Well, biologically, kids can tell. That's the difference. You know, it's kind of like my daughter when she had her kids, right? So her kids were like linked to her, like when they needed to be, soothed, they could go to their mother and they would be completely like calm. They go to somebody else that's not their mom, it wasn't the same kind of feeling. Well, I mean, depends on what you're doing in Photoshop, right? But if you don't know, like you do, like for you, you have backups. It is saving you time, but if your computer breaks, right, or you don't have that software available to you and you need to get a job done, you know how to work around the problem. A lot of people do not. That's the difference. Oh, good morning, sir. See, we have to know, we have to understand that there are other systems and other processes that we can use. The people that are coming up now don't have those skills. You know, being the person that has the knowledge is going to be key. Because if the systems break, who's going to fix it? Yeah. Can you imagine like tomorrow, like you have to do a job and you forget how to do that kind of stuff, and you don't have all of your tools like saved, right? What are you going to do? You're stuck. You are legitimately stuck. Yeah, I mean, I literally have a action that I can put in place or a tool I can put in place, and I can do that in like seconds. But I can also do it without having to use that tool too, because not every computer has my settings on there. But most people don't know how to do that. Like I can digitally paint. People are like, "Wow, how do you do that?" I'm like, "Oh, I have all these little things in here and get moving. Got all my brushes. When I have my tablet, I can just make magic. You know, those kind of things." But most people don't know how to do all that. Hey, Gabe, this guy's almost done, buddy. Yeah, that's like as I'm teaching these new students. Hey, Jose, just wanted to let you know I got that comic and I'm reading that today. Thank you again for sending that to me. Yeah, as I'm teaching these kids, because I teach for a college right now. I'm teaching kids how to utilize all these tools. That's one of our biggest problems that we not problems. That's one of our biggest things that we have to deal with in that field of graphic design is being able to deal with all these AI systems. And one of the things that I was taught when I did my interview for my position, they were like, So when you're doing stuff, do you know how to do websites? And I was like, yeah. They said I use templates, but I also know how to code the templates too. And they're like, no, that's the thing. You need to be able to know how to do that. And um, I firmly believe that that's important because again, if you know how to manipulate things, then you're more valuable. And we can't just know one way. We have to know multiple systems, know multiple ways to attack a problem. And kids won't read. Kids will hope that they'll find something on YouTube to fix the problem, and that's not going to work. All right, this one's donezo. All right, there's Blaster. Done. Take that one off my Transformers list. That's cool. Nice. All right. Next card. Where are my cards here that I was working on? I'm glad you like it, sir. Tried to make you proud. Oh, you're there. They're right here. Yeah, it is. But if you have to understand how things work too. Like I was telling somebody the other day, I had to change the brakes and pads on my car, right? Cool. But if I didn't follow the steps, and a lot of people are just like, they won't take the time to follow those steps. They won't take the time to listen and understand how it all works. But at the same time, my motivation was, hey, look, I could save myself $1,000 by doing it my damn self. I mean, most of the people I talk to on here are 80s people, so they remember the days when Radio Shack used to be around. So when Radio Shack was around, we knew how to take apart TV, and we go to the store and be like, okay, I just need this resistor, hook it up, let's go, we're back in business. But we don't do that anymore. That's why Radio Shack went out of business, because we're in a world of built-in obsolescence, and we still don't fix the problems. We just go out and go buy new things. But that convenience factor is good for people that do know. So when people want me to fix a phone, right, I can fix a phone in 30 minutes and make $130 real fast. But that's because I understand how the technology works. I understand how to take it apart. And I can make that money. So there's a side hustle. So YouTube can be a benefit. All right, got to knock out this Juggernaut. I meant to do this the other day. I got it started. We're just going to wrap up the skin tones and be done with this guy. There we go. He looks dope. I like him. Just that fast. Knock that shit right out. Yeah, I'm not moving quite as fast as I usually do on these things. It literally took me 2 hours to finish up that blaster. Yep, it should be on YouTube right now. Yeah, all this stuff is live streamed. So it'll be on my YouTube, on my lives. No, 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 no. I've been talking to you, and I've talked to a couple other people. I don't mind. I honestly, when I do this stuff, I'm not putting myself on a timer, so I don't care. I'm getting work done regardless. I like talking to people, so that's good for me. I'm good with it. I do. I kind of slow down on purpose because I like to talk. At the same time, truth be told, I'm still trying to figure out some things, so that's why I kind of slowed down too. Yeah, I mean, when I have a. Let me see if I can pull him up here. There's one guy I did. I did Transformers X. I think that's what his name is. I did this a while ago, and it takes a long time to get it right. Where are you? I'm just gonna do a. Let's type in Transformers. That'll be a lot easier. Transformers. Let me see if I can find him here. Is this him? No. Is that him? No. Sorry, I'm just trying to find this because I think it's a pretty cool cover. So, like when I did this one took a hot minute. That one took a long time to do. That thing probably took me 6 hours to do. Just getting everything right. Because, it's an old school Transformer jump. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I like, being able to, answer questions and all that kind of good stuff. But, I don't get on here to speed draw. I come out here to be able to put a little pressure on myself, create some cool stuff, and then keep it pushing. And then I just get to talk to some fun people. This guy I was talking to a little earlier, we were just having a nice, good chat about the whole new Marvel universe and that kind of good stuff. So that was fun. And then of course, I got I got Tasha on here. She's in the area. She's in Florida. So, Jose, you're in Florida too. So I love people that when it comes to talking to people in Florida, like I love that part. Because you guys are like, I feel like you're down the street, that kind of thing. It's always fun running and talking to Floridians. I love it. Oh, you guys didn't see these, but there's Juggernaut. There's that one. I did that one on Friday. There's Jessica Jones, and then I have Iron Man. Those are the latest ones. I got to do this guy here. I can't remember his name. I got to look him up. Where is my sheet? So this is what's his name? His name is Karnak. Never done this guy before, but I drew him up yesterday, so we're gonna get that done. So I got to take this off my list. Got Jessica Jones done. Got Jubilee, Juggernaut. Got Ironheart. We're cutting through this list pretty good. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I got 16 people left to do. I do have Inhuman. I do. I have. I don't have Medusa. I have Black Bolt. I'm past the halfway point. Absolutely. I literally have 16 characters left to do for Marvel, for just my Marvel set. Check it out. There's Black Bolt right there. Yeah, I think I've decided that I'm not going back to finish those until I finish the set. So I'm just going to keep on going forward. Yeah, there's a no. Hold on, who was it? No, that was Beast. That was at the top. There's Beast. That was Beast, right there. Yeah, I love doing all those. Those were fun, but I'm going to, like I said, all the ones that I have that are not colored, I will get back to them, but I will probably not get back to them until I finish the entire set. And when I say the entire set, I'm talking about the entire 1,000. That's where this guy's from. I didn't realize that's where Karnak was from. Okay, cool. Thank you for letting me know that. I did not know. The only Inhumans that I know of that I have specifically read is the Joe Madureira one, and I didn't know that Karnak was part of that. I literally said no to Inhumans after starting up that horrible show that they did on ABC. I was like, no, I'm done. Can't. Oh, so Karnak was in Last Stand, huh? Or no, he was in Humans, in the Humans show. This guy right here, right? Gotcha. I mean, I like his overall design. That's cool. He's a kind of a badass. We got to get him going though. We got to get him looking good. So yeah, I'll get his character done pretty fast here. So I'm going in there with a VO1. It's pretty much my one color that I like to use for my bases. And then I'll work up from there. This guy looks pretty savage. I like cool looking characters like this. Yeah, I got to do a. I'm going to do my rogue. I'm going to do a rogue tomorrow. So when I jump on here early in the morning, because I start off at should be starting at 7 tomorrow. I was supposed to start 7 today, but I got held up with some stuff because it was Monday. Got trash and all that fun stuff. You know what? I was always told when I was when I was learning how to draw, there are 3 things that artists are really not so good at. Number 1, hands. Number 2, feet. And number 3 is doing backgrounds. Those are the 3 things that artists are not good at, but they need to really focus in on doing. And I hit every one of those when I was learning how to draw. Yeah, I try to, depends on the character I'm doing, and then I will really try to do all the movements of the hands. Um, Again, it's just all about the character that I'm working on. Yeah, hands are usually one of those things where you can either you can destroy something or you can make them really really good. I try to work on them. Yeah, doing clothing is a bit of a pain in the butt, but you have to do it. Like you got to put your foot in on it. I don't have a light gray. That's okay. Gotta get this green in here. This is why I cannot wait until I get my own art station, so I don't have to dig through this box of just markers. I hate doing that. It's a pain in the butt. All right, so we got light coming from the right, so this is going to be lighter on this side. A little light here. A little bit of light on his shoulder. Ooh, that thing is gross. Let's see what this thing looks like. Nope, that is dead. All right, we're not using that one. All right, so we can do this rusty kind of green. As long as it's in good shape. I have two of these, so I can use one of the two. Got to go through my inventory. I have enough stuff I can go ahead and reorder. All right, so now I can get this going. Yeah, I've been watching some people doing some really cool stuff lately. Up on this page or on these streams. Jose, do you do any streams on here on Whatnot? I haven't checked, so I'm figuring while you're on here, I'll ask. Uh, I order them from Blick. That's where I get all my stuff from. You have any other suggestions? Maybe I could try. Give me the same supply, but for like a better rate. Oh, I was asking Jose if he jumps on here. just going to go over this with the green to make that pop a little more. But yeah, I was asking you though if you have a suggestion on a company that might give them like sell all this stuff at a better rate. Oh, okay. Yeah, a Blick is the best one that I've found. Hey, X Prince. So he's got more darker tones in his face, so I'm gonna definitely make sure I pop those things in there. Actually, I'm gonna use my blue. Oh, that's my blue. Yeah, so the best place that I found is Dick Blick. They're really good. They take care of people. There was a an issue where I had like some of my stuff didn't come through, and they took care of me. But that company's really good. Pretty damn fast too. And they pretty much have everything that I need. I'd recommend them to anybody. I'm going to have to use my warm 3 because he needs to be darker in the face. Give him some more of those muscle tones. All right, that's looking good. That works. And I'll just use the colored pencil to bring everything, tie everything together. He's got brown pants. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I love supporting places like that. Those are definitely the places I love to be around because they know you, right? They know the stuff that you need. It's unfortunate when we lose shops like that. That's going in the garbage. That's not good. So I'm gonna have to order some more browns. I don't have any. The browns are all gone. They all dried out. Note to self: make sure that you utilize your supplies before they dry out. Yeah, that one was in bad shape. That was a very old one. I don't typically do that. I usually refill my red ones. Well, I redo all of them, but that one was like this one was an old an old C5 that I hadn't. That one I hadn't used in years. It's probably one of my first ones that I ever got, so I'm okay with that. I always like I'll rebuy nibs. Like I'll buy new nibs and I'll put those in place. But I don't throw away Copics unless they're like so bad. I can't keep them. That's the only time I will ever throw away a Copic. Where did I put my color pencils? Yeah, Copics, as you know, they're like gold. So you don't want to get rid of them unless you absolutely have to. You try to use them until they die. And I'll mix match my Copics too, which people don't do. Like I'll have some Copics that have multiple colors in them. So like if I'm trying to get a color to work, I'll put two colors inside of one Copic. Well, you know what? I get it. That makes a lot of sense. I used to before I found out about the refills. Before the days that I had these guys here, right? So you had these and this, right? Before those days, I used to throw them out too because I used to use Prismas, and Prismas didn't have refills. So that I was going off of that mindset. And then I got Copics, and somebody was like, you could buy refills for those. I'm like, what? And when I found out the refill value, oh my goodness, I literally would have refills for like 2-3 years because I mean the markers would last forever. And the only time I really ever threw them away is when I had bad nibs. But then I started finding I could go ahead and replace my nibs, and I'm like, oh, this is a game changer now because I could buy a whole bunch of nibs for like $2 and then just replace the nib. And when the nib would get to a point where there was no the gasket between the nib and where it would go into the Copic marker, when that would start to just get bad, that's when I went ahead and let it go. Like I have a yellow one that's doing that same thing. So when I start using it, if I put enough pressure on it, it will just leak out all of the yellow, and I can't keep that until I'm gonna hold on to it until I can't use it anymore, or until I get my new one, which should hopefully be coming in next week. And then I'm done with that one. All right, I gotta get this to be a little darker. Yeah, I literally have probably like 6 or 7 of them left, and that's it. I was kind of opposed to the new ones, but the new ones actually are way better. They're much, much easier to refill. Yeah, but you look at it like this: you have to go get a new refill. You know what? Think of how many times you did not have to get a new marker. So you got to pick your poison. I would rather go buy a new refill than have to buy, another marker. Because I can just go buy a refill, right? The refills are like what, $6-7 a piece. Buying new markers cost you $5. All day. I will do it all day. Yes, let me go and take a look at it. Let's see what we got. Oh damn! Oh damn! I'm not gonna lie, that clown one is pretty fire. I'm talking like the Violator clown. I'm very partial to that. It's crazy how your work goes from better to best. That's cool. Like your bottom two, honestly, those bottom two are insane. Those things are good. You just got the teeth on that character look so good. Like you captured him so well. It is so good. You did great, man. I got to give it up to you. You killed it. I love that. We'll crush that bitch. All right. Let me go back to this. Yeah, that stuff's fire. Yeah, Switcher, I'd definitely do the Rogue. I just saw your message that you popped up. I like that work. Those mechs are fire. Yeah, those mechs are dope. Yes, yes, those pictures I sent. Jose, he's asking if you do Rogue. You do any? So Swisher, he does do so. So you guys need to like, you know, connect and get that stuff knocked out so he can add you can add that to your collection. I'm gonna need to get a duller green for this. Perfect. I'm glad you're able to connect. That's perfect. See, this is like better than going to artist alley. One, you don't have to pay an obnoxious fee to get there. Two, you don't have to wade through lines. You just go ahead and talk to people. That's the cool part about this place. Perfect. Love it. That's cool. Yeah, I mean that's it's just the connectivity. I love that. I just like talking to people and getting good ideas, getting an opportunity to to do some stuff for people that I typically wouldn't do. When I go to cons and whatnot, I get the same requests all the time. So for me to come on here, one, I'm just doing this project because I enjoy it. But also, when I do get a request, it's for things that I don't typically do. So that makes this more fun. And I'll be honest with you, I love the community aspect of this. There we go. This guy is done. I might add some, cross hatching to him later, but he's done. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like this. I never understood it until my friend was like, "You need to jump on Whatnot," and Whatnot is awesome. But I really didn't understand the power of this platform because it's way different than getting on YouTube, right? Or Twitch. Each one of those has their strong suit, but from an art aspect, I think this is a way better platform to play in. Of course, they have all their people on here that do their sales and all that stuff, but from an art standpoint, I feel like there's better stuff. There are better people that you can connect with, and nobody I've ever met on here has been a complete douchebag. And sometimes you'll get that when it comes to art communities. Everybody that I've met on here wants to legitimately help each other, whether you're buying stuff from somebody, whether you're trading information, any of that stuff. Where did I put that green? All right, I'm going to have to check my time because depending on time, I might only have time for one more, if not none. So I'll take a look here as soon as I finish this guy's tattoos. That looks really good. I like that. Karnak is a done deal. That was a quick one. All right, so that one is done. Done. And Karnak's going to go right here. Right there. He is done. That looks good. So it's kind of cool. So, ooh. Karnak here. Karnak there. Juggernaut here. Juggernaut there. Love it. Juggernaut looks pretty dope. I'm going to have to do the one that I don't really want to do, but I'm going to do them anyway. So I got to do Khazar. I don't really like the character. There's something about doing a character that reminds me of George of the Jungle that I'm not a fan of, but I'm going to do it anyway because he's on my list. Again, doing characters that I don't usually do. No, I haven't done her yet. I'm going to save her for tomorrow. She's going to literally be my first character I do in the morning. So I should be on here between 7 and 8. I'm trying to get up here at 7 tomorrow. I'll have to post. I got to do a new crop of shows because I have not done that yet. I didn't realize I went through all of my shows because I do like 4 shows a week. All right, let me see if I can get a good picture of this guy. This is like the probably my least favorite character to do. Yeah, I absolutely will. I definitely will. What I typically do is when I complete a character, I will I will post him, but I also try to make sure I send you a picture of the finished piece before I post it because I don't want. I try to do that before I post. I want you to be the first person to see that you see your work. Yeah, well, because my schedule opened up a lot, I do shows on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Fridays tend to be my slowest shows, but again, I'm more apt to get work done if I have the camera on. Like I feel like the pressure's on. Where is the cap for this thing? I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I used to do Wednesday nights when I first started up, and I did pretty good. I mean, I got to meet some really cool people, but because my schedule changed and nights work doing this at night was hard on me. I'd come home, I wouldn't start my cast until 10 o'clock, which was not good for me. So I just changed it up, and I was like, you know what? If I can do it during the day, I don't take away from anybody. Like I don't take away from my family, any of that stuff, and it worked out. So I get to work on this during those times, and you know what? I'm gonna stop on this one because I don't like to look at that. I'm gonna pass on that for right now. I'm struggling. I don't like the character, so when I'm not liking the character, I'm not going to draw a good version of him. So I'll come back to that. So what I will do is I'm going to get Craven started, and I will do that instead. I will finish the character. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to not do the character. I will come back to him. Typically, what I would do as an artist is I would just be like, I'm not doing this, but I did not. I'm not doing that call. So I'm going to do Craven the Hunter. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever done a Craven other than his face. I have not done a Craven. So this will probably be my first. Hey, you take care. I'll give you my feedback on that book as soon as I read it. All right, so we're gonna go Craven. Oh man, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to get ready to go here in just a few. Just gotta get this set up and then I'll head out. Which Alex Ross Kingdom Come? What do you mean as far as which Kingdom Come do I suggest? Because he only has one Kingdom Come. Are you talking about on his website for the Kingdom Come movie? Oh, okay. Hang on one second. I'll tell you real quick. Okay, so okay. I see what you're doing. All right, so as far as Kingdom Come goes, if you're getting them on eBay, you have two options. Number one, you can buy Kingdom Come with the packages, like the individual books. So I see one on here for like $23, like 23.99. That's one, and it's the entire book. Or if you just go on here, like they have the graphic novel, that's what I would buy. Just go get the graphic novel of it. The graphic novel is a better deal to get it anyway. If you don't mind getting that, if you don't need the separate books, get the graphic novels. The better route to go. Yeah, it's just I have what I have because I don't collect any. I don't do any digital stuff. I do all my stuff physical. So for me, I would get the physical. Just get the physical book, get that digital piece if you want it. But the physical, when you see it, you're gonna love it. Yeah, I do. Yep. Yeah, the only ones of his that I have that are individual books. There's two of them. One of them is actually, I'm sorry. There's only one that I have individuals of, and that is a book called Injustice. That's the only one that I have separate books, but I also have it as a graphic novel too. What's going on, Maria? I'm not seeing a representative straight for the. Yeah, send that one over again because I mean, I can send you a link for it so that way you can see it. Here, let me see if I can give you a link for the graphic novel. I'm going to give it to you for both. Let me see. Where are you? Well, it's not showing up. Injustice. Alex Ross. see if they have it on here. Yeah, there it is. That's the one. All right, so I'm going to send you both of these. I'll send you the link for this one. That's the link for Injustice, and this is the link for Kingdom Come. This audiobook, I need the graphic. This is the one with the newer cover. And then I'm going to send you one more, because all of these are really, really good books. Like visually, since you like this kind of stuff, I'm going to send all of these to you because I think they're really good. Oh, just copy the link and put it in your address bar. I can send it to you via message. That'll work too. I'll just message it to you too. That way you can just click on the link. Won't let me do that. So you have to copy and paste it. Okay. It opened on my profile? That's weird. That's really weird. That's really odd. Well, these are the ones that you want to look up. I'll just give them to you like this. This will be way easier. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Here, this is the books. These are the books that you got to find. Okay, this will be way easier. All right, so this is the first book. Okay, that's the first book. It's paperback. Okay, this is the next one. Um, where are you? Sorry, they're making it hard for me to find this book. Oh, it's not called Injustice. It's called Justice. This is the second book. It's called Justice. They're great reads too. And then the last one, this one is called Marvels. These are his first 3 books that he did. There are more that he's done, but these are the big 3. Marvels is the first one. Kingdom Come is second, and then Justice is the third. But he has another one in. He's done others, like he did a Fantastic Four one. That's the most current one that he did. And then he's done a bunch of covers. But those 3 in and of themselves, you'll love all of them. You will not be disappointed. Excuse me. Excuse me. Whew. Whew. Yes, I do. I do. I think it adds a little bit more pop to a card, so yes, I do. Yes, 92 and 91. Sorry, 90, 92, and 91. Their first set that they ever did, Marbles, the Marble cards, best ones. Sorry, no, let me take it back. The second one was the best one that they ever did. Marble Series 2. That was the best card set that they did. I'll show you a reason why. So, I don't want to get rid of that. Marble. Okay. These are the cards for the Series 2. Oh, wow. They're going for 75 bucks. I have that whole set. It's not bad. So these are the kind of things that you see. Number one, just in the design, I'm really big on how they do a lot of graphic design in here. They spend a lot of time making sure that, one, everything was very legible and didn't take away from the card. So they were very smart about that. So each one of them were set up the exact same way, but the heroes had this little emblem on it. This was consistent all throughout. Everything just kind of was very consistent, and you can kind of see they're breaking borders here too. They had a bunch of different artists. So like there's Erik Larsen. This I believe is Quesada, or that might be Frank Miller. I can't remember. This is Erik Larsen. I think this is Silvestri. And then when we get into the villain side of things, this is what a villain card looks like. It's the same kind of setup. So same kind of border. Everything was really consistent. But again, it didn't take away from the design of the cards. But when they go to series 3, this is when things really kind of very much deviated. So when you go to series 3, things get a little funky. They're playing a little bit more, and what happens is that they ended up getting more. This is when the computers started getting into play, and they were really starting to work with digital color. And people didn't understand the graphic design portion of it. So, like thinking that dots and everything were going to work, that doesn't do anything to the card. It actually is distracting. So it really didn't play well. They went away from the basic graphic design where it was let's focus on the characters and less of the graphics, and they don't meld well. They're very distinct, different things in here, so they kind of distract from one another. And then when they went to the 4th series, that's really when things started getting a little weird. So when we start getting into the 4th series, now we're getting, it's very distinctly different. So series 1 was good. It was a good introduction. It was kind of like old school, the old guard, because it had a lot of white borders and whatnot. But the series 2 is where they kind of found a really good balance. And if you take a look at the series 2 and you look at the Jim Lee version, they're very similar in the way that they were set up. Very similar borders. Yeah, so if you look at it's the 1991 is the series that's their best one. 90 was their first one. And in the 91, it's not bad, but 91 is the one that you really want to get. So I'm going to show you what the first one looks like. So this is what first ones look like. So they really were kind of going for like an old school look. This is very distracting. Having these little banners in here. They're very distracting. They take away and they cover up a lot of essential information. Like that should never be going over his foot and stuff like that. It's really weird. Okay. Whereas, like, if we go to the other one, if we go to this, like, say, for example, this guy, that doesn't take away. Like, that enhances. That's Poppy. We know he's a superhero. We got Cable. It's out of the way of the character, and the character is featured. There's so much, there's so much thought process behind this that was way better in this graphically. From a composition standpoint, way better. Yeah, but those are those little minor things. Some people don't appreciate them, but that's okay. All right. Well, Gabe, I got to get going because I am way past my time. But I'm going to be back on here, like I said, between 7 and 8 tomorrow morning. I'm going to send out your piece later today, and you should be getting it, probably in a few days, as long as weather is good. So that's where things stand right now. But again, this is your piece right there. Live and in living color. There's Blaster. Yep. Eastern time. Eastern. All right. Blaster's got a light source coming from this side, so you can actually see the shine on his hand. So that lets you know where it's coming from. I have to swap this shadow, so I got to actually put the shadow on this side a little bit for his head. I just missed that. Easy fix. Easy fixes. But he's ready to rock and roll. But I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. For sure. There he is. All good to go. All right, Gabe. I will see you tomorrow. And you take care of yourself. If you happen to be in any of that cold weather, please be safe. You take care of yourself. Huh, that's good. All right, my friend. Have yourself a great one. I'll see you tomorrow.